Welcome everyone to the next episode of Fate. We have our final player character here with us today. This is a Neron. What's your character's name?
It's Valora.
Valora. So due to the stunning lack of female characters that we realized we had, Neron decided that he would play a
His fault.
15-year-old girl. Not my fault.
It is your fault.
That's kind of your fault.
So anyways, 15-year-old girl, what are you doing? You're in a graveyard with a large black man. That's a great way to open a sentence. Great way to open a sentence.
Great way to start. Okay, well, I'm assuming I was driven here in a limo or something.
Were you? You just said you spawned him in a graveyard. I don't know how you got there.
Yeah, I mean, how does your family feel about this?
I'm pretty sure my family wants me to win the war.
Probably.
So I'm pretty sure they would give me a limo and a driver.
Sure. You have a limo and driver.
Sure. All right. I need to write this dude's name down because I'm going to forget.
Whose name?
My servant's name.
Did he give it to you, or did he just say who was caster?
I'm pretty sure you gave it to me when we introduced, but I don't remember what it was. I know who he's based off of, but I don't remember who he was.
Quinn, I remember you introduced it
I
with
did.
the tip
I
of
did
the
give him his
hat
name.
and a flare, like a bit of flair.
Yeah. So you recall that he gives you a tip of the cap and says, "Dr. Facilier at your service."
Facilier, that's what it was. All right. Well, I'll just call him. Does he prefer I call? Do you prefer I call you Caster or Dr. Facilier?
I'm indifferent, but my name has a sweet ring to it.
That's true. But it's better to be safe. I'll call you Caster for now.
Probably
Caster,
a wise choice.
We have a journey to make, and I'll lead him back to the car, and we'll go to the airport and use our. I'm assuming we have a plane. If not, we'll buy one.
Yes, you definitely. I mean, I assume your family would have a private jet. So yeah, you'd just you'd have that. Yeah. So yeah, you just have a nice. It's a solid black private jet. Sits comfortably around 25 people. There's a bar in there.
There's a place for you to play music too, I assume.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. There's like a little platform. There's like there's a fully stocked bar. A bunch. All the seats they're really large and plush and cushy. Little pull up tables that you can also push down. There's a big bed in the back.
Do we have companions for our newly summoned friend here?
I don't know. Do you?
Sure, why not?
Are you paying these people? Did Daddy give you an allowance?
You never gave me an allowance.
I mean, you gotta pay people somehow.
I mean, I assume I've got a black credit card in my pocket that pays for a lot.
Probably do.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So yeah, how many compatriots are you hiring?
Well, yeah, no, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay. 3 or 4. He would just go in the plane, hit up the bar once. He would like grab a bottle of, I don't know, what would he drink?
He would probably drink, I don't know, a nice wine maybe, being a warlock.
But is he really a warlock? He's like a jazz kind of guy.
He's a necromancer, yeah. So he'd either that or a nice beer.
Maybe.
No, I don't think he'd drink beer.
I don't think he drinks.
What do jazz players drink?
What do jazz players drink? This is a really good question.
Scotch?
I don't think, are they Scotch people? I need to look this up. So anyways, yeah, no, he would grab a form of alcohol and take his ladies back to the bedroom, as one would imagine, and occupy himself. While you are on a pretty short flight. You said you were in Germany, right?
Yeah, Black Forest.
Okay, so yeah, so
while I need a personal assistant. I'm sure I've got a personal assistant because I'm 15 years old and my parents want to manage me, right?
Yes, you have a personal assistant.
Okay, so do you have a name for her?
You're playing Helga.
Who's Helga?
She's a personal assistant, kind of the babysitter, really strict Russian woman.
But
Okay.
that's not gonna work. Because I need someone who's gonna do this, like call and make hotel plans for us, schedule our shopping day for us, help win the war.
I mean, she's gonna do these things. She's also just kind of strict.
Okay. So you gave me a Russian nanny to a spoil. Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Why
Yes.
Russian?
Yeah.
Of all the
what-
things that you
can-
want me to do, Russian
What
is
other
not my
accents
thing.
can you do?
Not
Can you-
Russian. I don't
Can
do
you
it
do
well.
German?
Do
No,
Italian. You can do Italian.
not really. I can barely do accents.
I mean, do I have to play Helga?
Yes, play Helga.
No.
Talk dirty to me.
I'm trying to. Okay, we are down here now.
Oh my goodness.
We are Helga. We are going to be doing this all day.
That's not a woman anymore. That's just a guy.
You do not know. Well, I don't know what Russian women sound like.
It's close.
It'd
enough.
be a bit higher. Be a bit higher.
Then
than
you
this.
do it if you think you're better.
No, because I'm not good at Russian.
What accents can you do?
Not Russian. That's what I'm trying right now, and I have no idea what I sound like.
Oh no.
I sound
You sound,
Irish. Now I'm picking up
no,
Irish. I
You
don't.
don't sound Irish. You sound Hindu.
You sound Hindu? That's not what I
That's
got.
not what I got either.
It sort of came through over here.
I don't. Gosh, I need a list of the accents you can do before I start making characters.
I
even
can
know the
just
way.
give you a woman who's very strict.
All right, be a strict, moderately large, plump woman who always wears like black clothing.
That's a tall order. All right.
What do you want from me? I'm describing the character. I'm giving you context to base the voice around.
Now, really, Miss Valora, we must get down to business. That's about all I got.
Okay.
Works. It works.
Where are we staying tonight?
Well, I already made reservations at the nearest hotel. We should be
Nearest.
on time. Our check-in is in an hour.
1 hour. Okay. Is it a nice hotel?
I got the best that money could afford.
Perfect.
What?
Now, do we know any? Do we have any spies in the city, or any people we can pay off to be spies? Politicians, police officers, you know the like.
She would basically be like, "Money talks, Miss Valora."
That's
Money-
accurate. That's accurate.
I hope I have a check. Do I have a checkbook?
You're 15. Of course you have a checkbook.
Oh, great.
Clearly. Wait. Does she say this?
No. Do I actually? Oh yeah. I
He's
didn't talk
asking-
about weapons. I just have a bunch of hidden knives that I just throw at people.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, Miss and I guess her name would still be Helga. I just can't do the accent. She has breast knives, the kind that
Got breast. Excuse me. Explain this character you just made up.
it's a breast knife. It's the kind that slips down in not breast knife. She has a breast knife. It slips down in between the breasts.
In a hidden blade in her corset.
No,
She
it's
has-
called
yeah.
it's a breastblade.
I don't think this one is called.
Okay, you know what? She has a breastblade. Let's just call
And
it
you
that.
told me to keep this PG-13.
I didn't think you were going to be the issue, Em.
That is PG-13. That is
Uh-huh.
today's modern PG-13. I'm not talking about a woman being naked on screen. I'm talking about
Whoa,
she
whoa,
has
whoa.
a hidden knife.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Back to where we were.
so-
Anyway,
So you're on a plane, and your nanny seems to think that your private jet can get you from Germany to Rome in an hour.
That's not true.
That's just false
oh, I
fact.
thought that's where we were.
No,
Oh,
you're
I'm
in
sorry.
Yes, but it's a little further. It's like a 6-hour flight.
Yeah, it's kind of long.
Okay,
to be honest.
okay, so then she would have said this time tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know what that long.
6 hours. It's just-
I
Hey,
don't
hey.
know.
It's 6. Okay. I'm looking. It's like a 7-hour flight.
Okay, she would know when to schedule it, so she would schedule it for whenever you could get there, but she would make sure that there would be enough time to be prompt. Not a minute before, not a minute after.
Okay.
What is this round trip?
So Quentin, what's my other thing is, do I have like people that work for me, like bodyguards or people who watch me because daddy says so, or grandfather? I guess it would be in this case, but anyway.
You don't really have anyone who's moderating you too closely. That's why your nanny was hired. Basically, it's her job to double check things. Your parents have a lot of kids,
It's true. Yeah, I know that.
so they kind of don't keep track of all of them. They just hire people who they think are professional enough to deal with them. And yeah, that's just basically it. Your supervision is minimal. Basically, you walked into your father and mother's mansion and you said, "I'm going to be in the Grail War," and they said, "Oh, very good, darling," and patted your head and like shoot you out of the room.
Basically.
Oh.
I mean, they're kind of
So
indifferent.
really, all I have to work with is their money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have your family's last name too.
Well, like Helga said, money talks.
All right. Well, are you gonna give me an amount, Quentin? Because if not, I'm fixing to just kind of go wild.
You can go wild for
Oh.
now.
Oh, he says for now.
For now.
Okay, well,
So, like I said, they don't really care. They don't care about their children. They care about their political and financial standing. If you screw things up too badly, Daddy might intervene.
okay. Well, then, in that case, Helga, we need a private security force hired.
She just pulls out her notebook and begins to jot down everything you say.
We want a private security force hired. I want people on the payroll from the local police station, the local media, and as far up in the government of Rome as you. What else do we need? I kind of want a tank just to be a little 16-year-old girl. So why not? I want a tank. I want a Panzer tank on standby just in case. Oh, and I would like you to rent out the nearest Museum of Natural History for the remainder of the war.
She just kind of looks at you with a dead stare.
Oh,
and just continues to write.
And I would like some tea, please.
Oh, sure, the tea. After all this, the tallest order you could give me is definitely the tea.
Yes. Goes over and starts playing the piano while I wait.
I'm looking at the prices for some of these things you listed down. The
Yeah. How much did I just spend? A couple $1 million?
the tank alone's $8.5 million. You want to?
Yeah, but you're talking to someone whose grandparents own the World Bank.
I know.
But...
Okay, fine. The tank might have been overkill, but the rest.
Okay.
Oh no, Helga's
What do you
getting
need
you
to rent-
everything. You said it, it's happening.
Okay,
What do you need to rent a museum for?
You said I can bring things back only within a certain period. So I'm going to go find a museum, stockpile a bunch of mummies in there, and just kind of camp.
You are going to
Also,
destroy history.
Museum of Natural History. I'm sure there's something in their Castor can use. When he's done with this woman, we'll talk about it.
Oh my gosh, he would have a field day in there. That's the problem.
That's the best part.
Okay.
I'm going to go in there and resurrect Genghis Khan and Hitler and have them do my work for me.
They don't have those bodies there.
You don't know that.
In Rome?
Fine, I'll resurrect me an army of undead Roman soldiers.
You might as well just go to... Wait, where is the terracotta army right now? They move pieces around all the time. Who knows what's there? Quentin,
Yeah,
you'll have to figure that out.
For me too?
Order the whole terracotta. I don't think there's a price on the terracotta. Okay. How much would it cost to order the terracotta army?
Oh, I should have moved the names down a little bit. They're too high. Oops. Oh well.
Okay, these are the real questions. You can buy a terracotta warrior from a museum, apparently, but that's one warrior.
What?
Um,
You can buy them?
I think
how
so.
much is one?
I've been doing some reading, and it looks like I need to beware of another museum gift shops. Never mind. I've read that you can buy replica soldiers. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can like actually buy the real thing. I'm pretty sure like China thinks it's a priceless artifact, and it's not going to happen. You can rent an audio guide for 40 yen. You can get a museum tour guide for 150. You can't. I don't know. I mean, if you threw an outrageous price, I'm sure you could get some of them. If you throw out a really outrageous price, you could probably buy it. I mean, at that point, you just might as well just buy China. But
Yeah, I don't have that much money.
exactly. Okay. So yeah, you're on a plane. I looked it up. It's actually only like 2 hours long of a plane ride.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not that bad.
So how does all this while I sit here and drink tea and play my my piano?
Yes. So Helga, do you mind writing those things down so someone else might remember them?
Why don't you make a handout, Quentin, in the journal?
That's why I have an assistant, Helga. Fine, I could try and do these things.
Yeah, you need to learn how to use this because I can't
No,
do it for you forever.
all I heard was a
Sorry.
tank, a personal protection force.
And then spies in the media, the police force.
The government. Yeah.
I feel like Daddy's gonna be intervening at one point or another.
Or I
The
don't have to
tank
do
was
that.
kind of already up
I
there.
just want information being fed to me. Oh yeah, and make sure they know what they're looking for once they're in my pockets. Mwahaha. Gotta have a fall guy or two.
Okay. I have all of these things written down. You wanted your own personal protection team. You wanted the National Museum rented out. You wanted a tank. You wanted the police force. You wanted the media. You wanted the government. You wanted some tea. I can't remember. Is that all you asked for?
I think so.
You wanted some tea.
What kind of tea, very specifically? Do you have a preference?
Jasmine.
You're a jasmine kind of person?
Yes, I actually like chamomile, but jasmine's fancier.
Okay. So, well, I mean, yeah, you're just kind of lounging around. I mean, the plane ride's only 2 hours long, so it actually kind of goes.
Facilier to come back out and finish enjoying himself.
I mean, he has 4 women.
It's not gonna take 2 hours. Well.
Uh,
Yeah, never mind.
The man just came back to the land of the living, and you gave him 4 women and alcohol, and only 2 hours.
That's true. I'll let him finish himself in peace. First place we're gonna go is definitely the museum.
Okay.
where's my
Is there a
mouse?
specific?
No, I was told we need to go to a restaurant, so let's treat him to some fine dining. Helga, I want the best Louisiana style food restaurant.
Your wish is my command, oh queen.
Louisiana style restaurant in Rome?
Yes, why not?
I don't think they have those.
I'm sure they've got some place with nice gumbo or
You
jambalaya.
look it up on Google Maps or something, and
There it is.
huh? You said there is?
No, I said there it is. I was looking for something and I couldn't find it.
That or we'll just go to like one of the nice 5-star restaurants.
Oh, I mean, this isn't real, right?
What, did you really find one?
Oh no, it's Georgia. It's in Georgia. There's a town in Georgia called Rome. Yeah.
Dang it, Georgia.
Dang it, Georgia. Because like something popped up and it said it was in Rome. Yeah, no, it's Georgia. Dang it, Georgia.
Fine. Helga, take us to the nicest restaurant where we can get a nice juicy steak.
Again, your wish is my command.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm one of those ladies from Skyrim. I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
Oh, don't worry, you'll be carrying me later.
Oh, heck no.
Wait, Luke, I found one.
What?
It's called Mondo Taco. It serves Mexican, Latin, fast food, Cajun, and Creole food. It's got 4 out of 5 stars, man.
Does it really?
Yeah.
In Rome?
Yes, it's in Rome. Italy, Rome, Italy.
You know, that's just a redundant statement at this point. Rome, Italy. At this
take
point.
him to a nice 5-star restaurant, get him a nice steak and a glass of red, and we'll talk strategy.
Okay, sure. Okay. So yeah, I mean, are you coming in via the normal airport?
Well, I mean, a private airport, duh.
There are so it's hard to find it's hard to find a private airport that is close to the actual city of Rome, because it's a city, right?
Yeah, it's also by the
So
Vatican, so they're not gonna have.
right, so the closest you could get is like a 2-hour drive, and you might have to walk to the nearest road if you wanted like a private airport.
Oh, fine. Public's fine. As long as the security force is there. Security force is there when we leave, we'll be fine.
You want a security force at the airport when you get there?
You know, like how on TV, like you get off a plane, you get right into a nice armored car, and they just drive you right out of the airport. That's what we're going for here, Quentin. Come on, I'm rich.
I know, but you're giving these people 2 hours notice.
I'm sure I would have planned this before if I knew I was going to be in the Grail. War.
You
Which-
didn't tell me these things.
Yeah, but don't they decide the
we
Grail
have not
War
had
like
time.
location?
To talk because I have been working, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so yeah, you arrive at the airport. You still have to go through. Would you still have to go through customs? I feel like you'd still have to go through customs, even if
We're
you're
not
private.
leaving the country. Well,
You left Germany and you went to
Yeah.
Italy. They're still gonna check you and make you go through customs.
Why? Oh, well, fine. I mean,
There's a reason.
I'll just get the TSA man each 10 grand. We'll be on our way.
There's a reason. So your private jet comes swooping in.
Oh, there's
And
a reason. Okay.
there is a fleet of well, it looks like there's two different people there, right? There's some people in some really nice black suits with a nice black car, and there are people in like red suits, and they look like they have badges. And
Badges, like badgers.
shut up.
Oh,
Mm.
great.
They,
This is
they've got
great.
they've got badges. And Helga's the captain, by the way.
Helga's the pilot too.
She's piloting the plane.
Oh my gosh, and she's got like her whole outfit on. She's got
Yeah.
like her helmet and
So
stuff.
the stairs are
So Helga's a badass. She can probably really fight well too.
she can probably handle her own. So the stairs are coming down, and Helga's kind of like staunchly standing up at the top, quizzically looking at the people, and they're like, "Pardon me, we need to inspect the plane."
It's a lot of people for customs.
Well, you see, there was a recent terrorist attack, and we cannot be too safe.
A terrorist attack where?
Over near the Vatican.
By whom?
The perpetrator has not been caught yet. That is why we are having to be extra careful.
What were they after?
We don't know, but a lot of people got hurt. So I'm sorry, sir, but we have to, Madam.
This is the most racist Italian accent I've heard all day.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
That is racist, but go for it.
One in Rome. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm not doing the accent then. He says, yeah, there was a terrorist
No,
attack
keep
over.
doing it. It was adorable.
There was a terrorist attack, and now we need to search the plane. To me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario. Alright.
First name Mario, last name
We
Mario.
didn't bring anything with us. I don't have anything evil with us, as far as I can tell. Just money.
I understand that, madam, but there are rules and regulations, and we have to check all of the planes.
Fine, you can come in, but be careful about going in the back and don't touch anything.
As you say that, you just hear loud, haven't felt that good for years.
Can I talk with him telepathically?
No,
I thought that they could do that.
but after he does that, he snaps his fingers and he disappears. And you don't see him, but you can sense him nearby.
Oh. No, I just gotta
And
deal-
you hear his voice is like, are they gonna be any trouble? Are we gonna have to dispose of them?
I guess he can hear if I talk to my mind, right? Yes? No?
Yeah,
maybe?
probably. I mean, he's caster. I would hope.
I have ventriloquism. I can just talk without moving my lips.
There you go.
Probably not. They'll search the planet. We'll be on our way.
All right, that would be preferable. I don't want to waste any more time here than we have to. So he just can't narrate how he's getting off the plane because he's invisible. Dang it.
Well, I mean, you could always just. I don't think I can see invisibility.
No, you can't unless you have a spell.
I'm not wasting a spell for that. All right, yeah, I'll let the TSA guys search the plane.
Actually, wait. No, he's too proud to be letting this happen. He would stand up at the top of the plane in his full attire, and he would look at them and he would say, "Pardon me, gentlemen, but there's no need to do this." And he would roll, and I can't let you see this, but other people are. Actually, no, I can't.
If you hit
I'm-
/GR roll, GR.
Yeah, but I want to do a very specific person's roll. I can just add it in after.
Do you not? Okay, I can tell you how to do it. You roll inside the character sheet. If you make it an NPC, you can make it an NPC's sheet, so it only rolls to you.
Are you sure about that?
Let me do it.
I mean,
If I
can always just diplomacy.
if
guys.
I
Great
click
privacy.
Which, can you just message me who?
his servant,
Okay.
and it's just gonna be a Baptity. Is that private?
No.
No, I saw that.
No,
66,
Quentin.
Holy cow.
Why didn't you just ask me before you did that for a second?
Because you said that if you
No, you didn't.
Ridiculous mod. Holy crap.
Quentin, you didn't listen to me before I. Okay.
and yeah, they literally every single person there starts profusely apologizing and like bowing and like backing away very awkwardly as they all hop in their Jeep and like drive away.
Quinn.
Yeah.
If you go into the character sheet, go to configuration, you'll see under roles, whisper to roles to GM, always whisper query whisper.
That's what I needed. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Why didn't you listen for a second?
After he does that, I'll go up to him and put my arm
Okay.
in his. Be like, I could get used to having you around. A fine gentleman.
Well, thank you, my lady. And now, if you don't mind me, after
I keep forgetting
that,
he's a girl.
after that rousing go, I could most certainly use a little bit of food. I'm a little famished.
Absolutely. To the car, and we'll go straight to lunch or dinner or whatever.
Okay. So yeah, you've got like a team of like half a dozen people on the ground right now for you. Helga would inform you that she hired 2 dozen. They're on a rotating shift, so you'll have a dozen at any given time. And okay, there we go. So yeah, you currently have half a dozen escorting you in 2 separate cars. So you've got the driver and then 1 person in the passenger seat, and then you've got another car behind you with another 4 people in it. And the entire back seat is yours.
Cool. How you should have 6 with me right now?
Yeah, you've got 6 people. So like I said, 2 separate cars. They're both like I don't want to say Jeeps. They're like larger SUVs. Obviously, all black, tinted windows, leather seats, the works. You know, there's a cooler in the back for you. It's got a large assortment of beverages, whether you want like alcohol or water or fruit punch. I don't know.
Other substances.
Other substances. But yeah, so it just you just hop in the car. Someone's opening the door for you.
Well, I get in, take my seat, get comfortable.
Okay, it is this large, like he's as tall as Castor, but the man's like Butch. Yeah, he's just a large white man in a suit, black glasses. He's got like a earpiece in, and he's opening this door for you. You get in, Castor gets in, and then he shuts the door. He radios something in on his earpiece, and then he opens his doors and get in the driver's side, and he says, "Where to?"
Oh, Dr. Mundo, take us to lunch.
Dr. Mundo, okay. All right, anywhere you'd like to go.
I don't know any restaurants off the top of my head. Whatever one in Helga made a reservation at.
Oh yeah, all 3. I mean, all 3 of you must be sitting in the back. Helga, where did you reserve a restaurant at?
That'd be pretty boppity, that place.
Okay, you go to a
Ratatouille.
You go to a 5-star restaurant called a Bippity Boppity.
'Cause
And would you like to do the accent for us? You purebred Italian.
what are you talking about?
You're right. You're not purebred. Never mind.
Thanks.
She's American. She's American Italian
I'm American Italian. We got dark hair.
and very pale skin.
No, actually, most Italians should be tan.
I'm
They
trying
should, but
to.
you're not.
Leave me alone, man. Can't
Where
help this.
I'm trying to find the airport in Rome, and I can't find it.
Are you really doing this by map? Is it that important?
Yes, is this important to me?
No,
Okay,
it's
okay,
not.
fine. You go to a place called Aroma.
Ooh, it even sounds like it smells good.
It you would assume so. Yeah. So you're heading over to this wonderful place called Aroma. It is known for its long-standing it's a long-standing restaurant serving hearty traditional Roman and Italian cuisine.
Pasta.
Yes. So you make your way down there. And so you are on your way. It's actually not that long of a car drive. It's like 20 minutes. There's a little bit of traffic. I mean, Rome is a bustling city.
I've
Obviously.
been there.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes.
So you're actually, this restaurant's really close to the Colosseum that you're passing on the way. And again, you see a striking number of police officers just around. Specifically, like places like the Colosseum. But as you're driving by, like anything
would
that.
I be in range to cast detect magic?
Sure. You do indeed detect magic.
Oh, obviously. Do I gain anything? I'll do a perception check, I guess.
You can do a regular perception check.
I don't know what my perception is. It's a
Cast.
1.
It's a 1.
I don't have perception.
You don't have perception. Okay.
Nope.
Don't worry.
Can't you use a bard thing for perception checks? I thought you could.
Bard thing. I mean, he's just gonna roll his perception.
Oh, go for it.
Oh dang, that doesn't fit yet.
Okay. So he would tell you that there appears to be like, I don't know, roughly 24 guards over there, all rotating shifts there, looking around for, I guess, any perpetrators. They said a bomb went off, so I'm sure they're quite worried for any other impending terrorist attacks.
Do you think it was a bomb, or do you think it was another master?
Well, you see, that's the tricky part. You can never know in the Guild Wars. It could have legitimately been a terrorist attack, but honestly, I believe we have to be prepared for either circumstance.
Can you sense any specific magic around the area?
I can indeed sense magic, but it's hard to pinpoint what exactly it is. It's not emanating from another servant, that's for sure. I'd sense if they were nearby.
Helga, I want a bomb expert on hand just in case.
You want a bomb expert?
Yes, you never know. It could be important.
Add it to the list!
Like, that is going to be very easy to obtain. All right.
We're in Rome. I'm sure you could find an undercover bomb or an underground bomb expert or two. Just have them sit in a nice hotel, feed them, and if we need them, we'll call them.
Oh my gosh, your character's assuming way too much.
Nah, it's fine. I'm keeping a list of everything you ask for, by the way.
Quinn, you should roll to see if she's able to obtain these things, because it may not be possible at the moment in time too.
No, I mean,
while money gives things.
She's making calls right now, and she's like calling all of her sources. She says she might be able to obtain one. She could either get a lower quality one rather quickly, or it might be like a couple hours, maybe even tomorrow, before we can get like a really high quality one in. But
I'm sure they've got like a bomb squad in Rome that we could have.
All of them are currently deployed.
That's true.
Because they're trying to save like national landmarks. I mean, not even landmarks, like national treasures of all these ruins.
All right, find us a professional. We'll just be careful for a day or so.
Okay, so she would do so. So yes, you pull up into this restaurant. It's
a hacker too. Stop that. We need a hacker. We're in modern day Rome. I gotta think modern day.
Speaking of modern day Rome, let's move everyone to modern day Rome.
Oh, hello. You've actually got maps.
Yeah, I do maps. It didn't pop up for me. I'm gonna refresh. See if it pops up for me. Apparently Luke can see it. That's good. Good job, Valora. My camera should be on in
Did
just a
you
second.
did you click yourself there? Because if you
I clicked everyone, so I see it. Once I refreshed, I see it. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah, you get to this fancy restaurant. It's really posh. It looks modern. It looks really high upper class. Just like everything's like black, white, really chic, but the food smells amazing. Like you are not in the restaurant yet. The aroma is emanating out of this facility. It's absolutely amazing, and you feel famished.
Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm hungry. As I pull him with me.
And he's like, no need to rush, but I must say that is the most extravagant scent I have smelled in the past 100 years. And
Well, you can have anything you want.
he strides in and he just picks up he doesn't even wait for the waiter. He just picks the menu straight out of their hands. As soon as the waiter starts to speak up, and he's just like, no, it's all right.
No, no,
And
no.
it
As he's doing this, I summon a magical keyboard and start playing him some music. While he does this and just takes command.
so he's bending over to the waiter, grabbing the menu right out of their hands, and he's like, so I'm gonna need the finest table you have, preferably somewhere set next to other people of importance, such as myself. That would be preferred, higher up diplomats and such.
Should I roll perform?
You can roll a perform. He's gonna be doing similarly. He's gonna be rolling to persuade them to do exactly what he says.
I'll give him. I can give him a bonus with one of my spells, can't I?
I don't think he needs it particularly.
Oh, okay. Well, there's my. Oh, that was a bad roll, but still, good keyboard playing.
Good keyboard playing. So great music. This person is just like looking back between the two of you, like, of course.
You also realize I'm being 15, but I'm in pure black, and I look like a doll, like literally. Yeah, I got a picture of it. I showed you what I look like. I look like Annie. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
Annie.
So I mean, you're just being led back up actually a flight of stairs at this point. And you actually
I'm surprised they're not questioning the magic floating keyboard.
They're a couple of like bystanders, just people casually eating dinner here, are kind of like remarking like, who's this man? We've never seen him before. And like, who's this little girl he's with a magical floating keyboard? Clearly. And there are a lot of whispers and murmurs going on. But then at the same time, there are also a lot of tables who actually are paying you absolutely no mind and are really enveloped in their own conversation. So yeah, and as you're walking, Castor says, so yes, as I've picked up, apparently a bomb went off in the Vatican about a few days ago, not too long. They don't know who the perpetrator is, but it was right at the footsteps there. Supposedly, one person, after the bomb explosion, while about a dozen people who were critically injured, just stood up, dusted themselves off, and walked away. Really the talk of the town right now. And as you can tell from trying to hire your own bomb expert, a lot are deployed right now and security's tight.
Oh, I thought you were talking to the other guy. I'm so sorry.
Nice.
I was reading my spells. Okay, so yeah. Well, our first thing I was going to tell him was that I rented out the Museum of Natural History. I explained to him that I'm a necromancer and anything within X amount of years I can bring back. So we're going to surround ourselves with a lot of dead things. And I asked him, is there anything he needs that would make his laying a trap more useful?
A quiet place to work.
That's all you need?
That in time.
I mean, you don't need like raw bodies or homunculus or, special materials.
Well, depends. What kind of trap would you like to lay?
Well, I have several in mind, but the first one is we need a good place we can fall back to and retreat. So I was thinking of using the museum as a base. So for now, warding magic, spells for traps.
if they'll let you rent it out.
That's true.
Yeah, so Helga's still furiously on the phone, and she's like, not so surprisingly, the only thing we're having difficulties getting is this museum. As you can imagine, a museum is kind of, I don't know, frequented in Rome.
True.
A place with a bunch of ancient history where a lot of, I don't know, historians go, and a lot of sightseers, and they're rather quite popular. So getting one at a price, even an absurd one, is finding to be very difficult.
What about a church with a large graveyard?
I could probably get graveyard.
Find me the graveyard of where Rome buries its soldiers.
If
Um,
it's not on the map, we can't reach it.
I'm sure they've got a graveyard somewhere in Rome where they bury dead soldiers.
um, there's actually not that many cemeteries in Rome.
Really?
They
That's surprising.
cremate.
I literally Googled cemeteries in Rome, and there are about like 6 of them.
Huh.
I think they cremate.
Um, you wouldn't be able to get that one. You could. No, there's probably also national. Those are national monuments. That one's literally in the Vatican. Uh, where do people bury things? Like actually, um,
I don't know. What does Facilier think we should make camp?
he's kind of twirling his stick around, and as he sees someone walk by, and he's like, "Ooh, that looks delectable," and he just picks up a glass of red wine and starts sipping it. Um,
Wait, what? He says a person looks delectable?
no, 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 no. I said a person walks by with a tray, and he sees a glass of red wine, and he says, "Ooh, that looks delectable," and just picks it off their tray, not paying any mind, and just starts sipping it. Um, And he's like, well, I definitely do approve of the more of a cemetery vibe. They're also, as well as being a gated community, not well frequented, also the tendency to have dead bodies in them does make most of our magics a lot easier. On top of that, I don't think we really need to be purchasing this property. I think we could loiter there for a few days. I can set up a couple of magical fields, barriers, alarms to make people not question it so much.
That would be nice. Maybe we could find an old Gothic style church.
You actually no. So Helga actually would probably come back and say that she found a moderately large cemetery and crypt somewhere just on the outskirts of the center of Rome. It's actually kind of near the train station.
Oh, that's kind of perfect, actually. We'll take it. We'll go there and set up. Is there anything he needs other than that?
Well, again, it depends on how particular you want to get. If you could get me a lock of a master or servant's hair, that would make this war much easier.
Bro. Well, we'll have to wait on our spies for that one. I guess we can go and set up base then when we're done eating.
That would be grand. Just a place to get back to work and start communing.
That, or do you want to go shopping? As I clap happily and say shopping.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of sightseeing to be done, but in particular, I think
Have
you
you ever
could.
driven a car?
What time period do you think I'm from?
Do you know what a car is?
Of course I do, and I've driven one.
Have you ever driven a Lamborghini, a real one?
No.
Let's go buy you one. A nice man like you has to have a Lamborghini that lights up and has pure leather interior. It's also convertible. It has a nice little cooler in it with some champagne, a couple
Like,
women, and me on the back playing my piano.
he's stroking his chin like he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. No. Now, while it does sound absolutely divine, I must say we do have work to do and a war to win. There will be plenty of time for these pleasantries after the matter.
Maybe we'll see. Fine,
I-
I won't go shopping.
Feel free to indulge yourself, especially if you have a private security force. I don't see much of a problem. I can cast a couple of protective barriers around you, and I wouldn't mind leaving you walk around, especially this early in the war, where I don't think many a thing would be a casualty.
Okay. Wait, how fast could he get to me if he needed to?
I mean, he's a spellcaster. I'm pretty sure he has access to teleport. I'm double checking that. Ooh, I can't move that. I need to move it this way.
Yeah, I need to ask him if there's a way that if I can contact him quickly if I run into trouble. It would help if you told me what class he was. He's probably is he a bard too?
60-40?
He said he's level 40, so he's probably a bard and some kind of sorcerer, or maybe a witch. He's a witch doctor.
Witch doctors have to be. So apparently they have to be good. So absolutely not. I looked into it. He could get to you at a pretty quick manner, almost instantaneously. Almost.
Do we ask him? Is there a way we can communicate without, drawing attention to ourselves? Do you have telepathic bond?
I'm pretty sure he does also have that. I just read something about. Contact Entity 3 is a spell, apparently. Contact Entity. Pathfinder. So the issue with his spells, yes, he can contact you. Yes.
So I can contact him instantly via telepathic if I need to.
Yes, he's like, oh, I'll manage once we. How about this? Before you head off shopping, when we get in the crypt set up, I'll do a couple of my voodoo magics, and we'll make sure that everything's all right. I'll get a couple of protective barriers on you, create a telepathic link, put a couple of alarms, some magical barriers and whatnot. And you'll be fine to head off. That way I'll be able to get to you instantly, communicate with you freely, and also you would have a protective layer even if you did get ambushed.
Works for me. For now, let us order food.
Oh, yes, that is what I've been smelling this whole time, and something I've been dying to dig into.
All right, well, I'll stand up like a little spoiled girl and snap my fingers. Wait, we're ready to order.
Sure. Do you actually order something like what would you like?
I want a peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my gosh, you went to the finest restaurant, you brat.
He's standing there with a menu clenched between his hands. He's shaking a little, and he tilts his head and starts blinking. And he's just like, I don't think that's on the menu. Can I offer you some pasta, spaghetti?
Chicken tenders and fries.
Okay. He's just like, okay, that's on the kids' menu. And he turns to the dapper looking man next to you, obviously. Who's still twirling his red wine, and he says, I'll take the linguine pescatore with a white wine sauce with a little bit of garlic bread. And the man just quickly like nods his head and runs off. It's a mixture of him wanting to impress the really nice, well-spoken man sitting next to you and also being terrified of you. So he runs off, and this meal.
My natural intimidation is stupidly high.
I'm trying to think what his intimidate is.
My natural intimidate is 18.
I mean, again, this man's a servant, so he's just gonna have absurd stats. Okay.
Of course, if I use my performer as my intimidate, it's a 28 natural.
Okay, so yeah, your food gets back to you really quickly. And just while you're eating, he's listening to a bunch of diplomats, and he's hearing that
Yeah, I
much
guess
like
I better roll a check to see if I can hear people too.
yeah. So you can roll.
Are you just gonna
If
do a perception? Is that what you're gonna do? Or
yeah,
knowledge
you
me? What?
do a knowledge local. Do you have
I want-
that?
I want- I do. I have everything.
Okay, yeah, knowledge local then.
Well, should I do a knowledge local, or do I want to do nobility and find out who's here and start bribing people?
You could do who's here. That's up to you.
Let's do both. First, we'll do knowledge local because that's what you said first.
Okay. Yeah, you get basically what you got before, which is bomb just went off in the Vatican. A lot of police are roaming around, and they're just basically trying to protect the city because they don't know if another terrorist attack is going to happen. Everyone's calling it a terrorist attack. Of
What
course.
was that? I heard earlier about a large guy standing up out of the rubble.
It wasn't a large guy. You just heard that a man looked like he was at the epicenter of the blast, which critically wounded about a dozen people, and this man afterwards stood up, dusted himself off, and walked away.
I need to find see if there's any footage of that. All right, I guess we'll do a knowledge nobility. Who's here? That's a lot better roll.
That's a decent amount better. Not too many people are talking about that. I mean, the Pope's in town.
Kidnap the
Not the first time I've heard that.
Pope.
That's the sad part.
That was
Why
probably
does everyone
Andrew.
kidnap the poor
I
Cope?
had to guess it was Andrew. If it was
So
Dean, I'd be really surprised.
yeah, you know the Pope's in town. I mean, just like random government officials, like a couple of UN
Government
people.
officials or Handy Quentin? Which ones?
A, B, and C. I didn't give them names. There are government officials in here. I mean, you know that there's a governmental district down near to the Colosseum. There's the whole governmental district of Rome, which is generally moderately well occupied. So yeah, you've got the government officials who run in there. You've got a couple of UN members currently in town, and you also have the Pope. You hear though, because Castor is going to kind of lean over towards you, and he says, "Apparently, this is getting quite out of hand."
Sounds like it. Sounds like someone made quite an entrance to this war.
Now, Rome isn't always well known for being not anymore at least, being the powerhouse militaristically. So I heard a couple of rumors floating around that they may be bringing in some outside help, potentially even the United States government. There was a UN meeting discussing the terrorist attacks. They don't know if it's related to any other world events going around right now.
Do you think anyone in the Roman government would know what's going on here?
Potentially, they might just be hiding it from the average everyday citizens, but you got to remember the company that we're sitting in. These people right here themselves could be government officials. We don't really know. But at the same time, they seem to know no more than the common man. So either information's being withheld, or everyone is truly as ignorant as they seem.
Which it could be both easily.
Indeed, it could. So yeah, he's just finishing up his linguine pescatore with a white wine sauce.
I need to find someone in
Did you just
here.
like look this up today?
Hmm?
Did you just like go look up linguine?
No, this is my favorite meal that I got in Little Italy when I was in New York City. This is actually high quality Italian food.
All right, well, I guess we'll go back to our base and let him ward me and do his stuff while I go explore afterwards.
Do you just want to fast forward through that and just say it happens? Or do you actually want to play it out?
If there's anything specific we need to roleplay out, if not, we can just fast forward to it.
I don't think there's anything specific. I mean, are you going?
We'll go there because I'll probably want it once we get there. I'll want to set stuff up.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way to. I'm trying to think how you would get there. You would take that road. You'd be passing that. I need to zoom out more so I can see these things. There we go. You would be driving right by that. You make it there perfectly fine. Nothing really all that eventful happens. Again, you keep passing like all these really fancy buildings or like historical sites, museums, all that. And again, just a ton of police everywhere. But it looks like they're all scrambling. And again, from you can kind of infer from what Castor said that their numbers are being stretched really, really thin right now.
And that's why we have the private security force.
That's why. So you make it there perfectly fine. It's a museum. I mean, not a museum. It's a graveyard. It looks like it's gated. There's a big black sterling iron gate. Kind of with like brick accents around. And a lot of the gravestones are really tall, not taking up much like width or anything, but they're really tall. And there are a couple of really fancy crypts, and you just see Castor walk up to this gate and stare at it. And he kind of cracks his neck and he says, and he takes a deep breath in. Home sweet home. And he just kind of waves his cane at the gate, and it unlocks itself and swings wide open.
Of course, I'm playing graveyard music too while this is happening. I have to be his front man.
Dun, dun. Yeah, it's great. So you're playing some creepy.
This is Halloween. I'll be playing This Is Halloween in the background.
This is Halloween. Halloween. Okay. So yeah. Do you want your escort following you in here?
No, they can wait at the gate. Secure the perimeter, boys. We are going in.
They kind of just salute you, and they kind of just stand bodyguard. Two people stand bodyguard at this gate, and the other four just kind of walk around, patrolling the perimeter. I assume Helga's coming with you.
Yes.
Okay, so you, Helga, and Castor all make your way down. It's a really large graveyard.
Knowledge history to find out if there are any war families here?
Yeah, you can roll for that, and I will inform you of what I know. Where's what I'm looking for?
Or any like witches or anything like that here. Witch graveyard. We need to find a witch graveyard for him. What are we talking about?
There is you know that there are a lot of different graves, and it's actually really well partitioned and kind of full. So it's split up into multiple different sections. It's split up into people who are members of the Catholic Church, people who are members of the Jewish community, and also people who there's an entire monument and section dedicated to people who died in the World Wars.
Those would be handy to have as zombies.
So yeah, and there on the Catholic side, you see more so these really large crypts, which Castor kind of points out would probably make really nice bases.
Okay, then we'll use as the bases then.
Okay, so you are in the Catholic sector, and you make your way into one of this. It's like the size of. You see, yeah, Luke, think the size of my house.
Okay.
So it's not like overly large, but it's still got some pretty good size to it. And again, he just wave of his cane, and the doors unlock, fling wide open, and you see that there's like a row of 8 tombs, all dating various random times, and they're just stairs leading down. So you can tell that there's kind of like an underground network to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you get led through there until you find it's like a dead end. Again, basically where the underground network kind of ends, but it's a really large opening, looking like it's either the end of it or it's the centerpiece of something where they were going to branch out more, but they never really got to it. But it's just a really large circular room.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I think. What are you gonna do, Castor? What are you gonna do to set up?
Well, initially I thought the concept was a little whimsical. I do agree that we need to go shopping. There's no way we are going to be able to live in such an environment without And he points to a specific corner of the room, a comfortable couch.
Very well. Helga, bring him a laptop and access to Amazon. Let him buy anything he wants.
Helga. How do you respond? She's just glaring right now.
How about I'll
Anything
deliver
he wants on Amazon?
anything he thinks would need to help us win this war. Oh, and while you're at it, buy some security cameras for the guards to use and all that kind of stuff. I want a nice security station set up. Hire a couple more places just to guard this place. Bring that tank here while you're at it. A helicopter might be nice too, but that might be pushing it.
Very well, Miss Valora.
Oh, and I want a grand baby piano right in the center of the room.
A grand baby piano. Very well, Miss Valora. Rolls eyes and walks out of the room.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Indeed. And he's like, well, for now, this will have to do. He kind of bangs his cane on the ground twice. And you see, like, shadows start to emerge from his cane, and they kind of form into a Gothic-style chair. But you can tell that it is made purely out of shadows. And he kind of just lounges in it. He's like, well, I guess until we have all the other necessary furniture and equipment, I'll just be relaxing here while you go out and procure more instruments for our success. And after she lounges for a second, he says, oh, yes, and one more thing before I forget. And he motions for his, how do I explain this? He's holding the cane by the top of it, right? And it's a long wooden cane with a bulb at the top, and he kind of just motions it and like kind of throws it up in the air and grabs it by the end, the bottom of the cane, and he kind of taps you on the head with the bulb, and you kind of it's like glowing and spiraling an eerie mist about it, and then you're just kind of enveloped, but it doesn't like cover your sight. You can just see like it's almost like a shimmering effect going over your body. And
Did you put a glamour on me?
You now have multiple things on you. You have an alarm. You have aura of the unremarkable. You can.
No, that's not cool. I want people to remember me, be terrified of me, not forget me. I understand the reasoning for it, but still, my childish girl will scream because no, people must notice me. They must be terrified.
I'm telling you as the player, you as a character can roll to see if you can figure out the hodgepodge that he put on you.
Okay. Roll Arcana.
Sure.
Hold on. What is my knowledge Arcana?
Hopefully high.
Was that a spell? You mean spellcraft, right? That'd be spellcraft, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. No, just determine spells as spellcraft. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it should be knowledge arcana. I'm gonna look that up. I know what Esther said the other day, but I don't trust words.
What was the question?
Spellcraft or
spells you put on me, right?
It's knowledge arcana.
Is it?
If you're trying to identify a spell that's been put on you or a curse, you use knowledge arcana. Are you sure? Is it spellcrafting?
I'm looking it up right now. Identifying a spell as it is being cast requires no action, but you must be able to clearly see it as it's being cast. Blah 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 blah. And it is spellcraft.
It is spellcraft.
19. Yeah.
What's arcana then? Is that?
I don't know what I think it's like reading magical inscriptions and stuff.
I think there's way too many different ones that you could actually do because
I agree.
spellcraft and arcana could be combined and just maybe that's what they're doing in the next edition of Pathfinder.
Maybe.
Which we're trying, by the way.
You can indeed. Okay, so how do I explain it? There are multiple different spells being put on you right now.
All right.
So with that roll, you can tell that you have, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spells on you right now. You can tell that you have been warded protectively, basically just a boost to your AC and some temporary hit points. You've been given an alarm, so if any other servant tries to come anywhere near you, it'll send out basically a brilliant flash and a really loud noise. You can also tell that. No, I think it might be all you can tell. Trying to think. Yeah, that's all you notice. But then, without moving his lips, he starts communicating with you.
Oh, wonderful. The voices have returned.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. Now you can run about without much worry. Like I said, I put multiple things on you. That way I can get to you instantly. We can also communicate, and you are warded for your utmost protection.
Fantastic. I'm gonna go find us a hacker, some witches, and I'm gonna buy those. Walks off.
Okay. Um. Okay. Are you leaving the crypt? Are you taking Helga with you?
Do I want to go unsupervised? I haven't
No,
checked.
you don't have a choice.
Who's gonna supervise me? You?
M says Helga's going with you. Helga, what do you say? You see this little girl starting to
Young
walk out of
lady,
the
you
crypt.
cannot leave this place without me. I'm your guardian while your parents aren't around.
But it's gonna look weird if I walk around downtown shopping with a guardian.
And it's going to
Meet
look
her at the
mighty
mall.
weird with a little smack across your face if you don't obey orders.
Fine. Walks off. Angrily walks off.
You can just hear in your mind, Luke, that Castor's chuckling. Duh. Okay. So on that note, yes, you leave the crypt. Is there anywhere in particular that you wanted to go, Luke, as a person?
I gotta find a hacker.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, I just assumed that Helga was making phone calls this entire time.
Oh, okay. Well, she's gonna find me a hacker. That's fine. We need to buy him a set of wheels.
Didn't you
And-
reject that offer?
Kind of.
But I want to buy a set of wheels.
You're 15.
She can afford it.
I can't afford it.
These people don't care. She can't legally drive. Helga could drive. Helga's just gonna whip up in a Lambo.
Helga's like the coolest lady ever, man.
No.
Maybe I'll
I'm
work
gonna
on
go
the
find.
accent. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
go find a nice Gothic church.
Okay.
Go play music in front of it.
How nice are we talking? Like historical? Or
Sure. Just
Okay.
like Gothic church. I don't know. I need to go. Let's go to the Museum of Natural History. Let's go there. Final decision. Let's go there.
go to the Museum of So you want to go to the Museum of Natural History?
Yes, I want to know if there were any Roman witch cults here.
Okay. So you are you have your escort, you are being driven there with your well actually that's a good no, you would always have 6 people with you at all times. They would have sent another patch of 6 other people to just guard the facility in which you told to set up camp around.
Okay, but the guys are gonna stay in the car because going out normally might attract attention. Oh yeah, Helga. By the way, I want somebody to watch the restaurant where we were just in case someone comes around asking for information about us.
Very well. Your wish is
Okay.
my command.
Thank you.
Great. So that's gonna be done. And you're making your way to the Museum of Natural History. You are there again. You see around about a dozen policemen just all around. And I guess you would get out of your vehicle once you arrived. Okay, you get out of your vehicle. Just you. I mean, Helga's. I just imagine this right now. Like you are getting out of the car and you're like scampering out and you try and slam the door on Helga as she's trying to scooch out the same side.
Oh, and she'll catch it. She catches it so fast. And you just get this glare and you can feel it from the back of your skull.
She's kind of grumbling, does this to me every single time we exit a car.
Your father will hear about this is basically what's going to happen.
Don't worry, you can play with the men later. Walks off.
I have a husband!
Oh, really? Do you have any children?
Thankfully not.
Oh, but I wanted to torment them. Okay.
So you and your nanny are walking up the steps of the Museum of Natural History. But before you actually get there, there's kind of like a little landing. There's a little patio, whatever. And the guards are going to stop you and ask you to try and search you and ask you to go through a metal detector and everything.
What's another thing I have on me? I'm in a black dress and I've got a pocketbook. That's all I have on me. Oh, I've got tons of knives. Hold on.
Um,
Oh,
yeah. What do you do?
Oh my gosh.
Helga even has her breast knife.
Yeah, Helga pulls out her breast knife very
shoot, I didn't think about that.
gruffly and just slams it on the table.
Do I want to intimidate the police? Do I want to intimidate the police?
You can try.
I could diplomacy them.
Do what you think's best.
Do you know who I am? That might work.
Why no, madame. Why should we? Should we?
No, they probably wouldn't. I don't feel like role playing that out. Because that would be really weird for me.
That could be.
Well, darn. I do have all my knives on me. I don't think I have any spells that can help with that either.
You're
Do you have
about
a
to-
plan for this?
I did not really I forgot about all the,
You forgot about all the security and the bomb that just went off?
Yes, I did.
Well done, Luke. Well done.
Oh, I can just invisibility have my mirror image go through. That might work.
You could
I
try
don't know,
this. thing.
would a mirror image doesn't a mirror image summon duplicates of everything you have on you?
I don't believe so. And even if it does, I don't think it would like. Even if it does, Luke, what is the mirror image made out of? So even if it is a mirror image of your knives, would a knife pop up in a metal detector? Because what is
It
it?
depends on what it's made out of.
Right. That's what I'm wondering.
Because I have a knife that goes to metal detectors that no one ever catches, but it's made out of a special carbon.
It's illusionary. So in my mind, it's not actually, even if it is physical and touchable, it's still made out of magic. So I don't think it would be considered metal. So you could probably go through a metal detector if you were a mirror image.
True, but they gotta pat me down too.
They could pat you down and find your knives.
Huh?
Well, but by that time though, it's your mirror image that they're patting down. You can just walk right in, invisible.
It's true. But
Then Helga's kind of left there trying to explain this.
That's very true. I look at Helga. Helga, I'm sorry, but I'm going off for a little while. Turns invisible and teleports to the other
No,
side.
young lady, come back. Oh dear. She's
Okay.
gonna see me again.
So
I teleport inside the museum.
are you using teleport or are you using mirror image and walking through invisibly? This matters.
Well, I'll use. Let's see. Hold on. Where's my spell list?
Do you have teleport?
Yes, I do. I'm pretty sure I do. Hold on. Spellbook.
I don't think bards get.
I have Dimension Door.
Yeah, that sounds better. Character sheet, spells.
And I do have invisibility. I have darkness too. I forgot about that. Yeah, I've got invisibility and I have Dimension Door, so I can do it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Luke, what is this shoddy spell listing job?
What do you mean? I'm not combat. I'm pure support.
No, I know. What I'm saying is how you put it into Roll20 is absolutely appalling.
Oh,
I
did
just
he
put
not put it in the way it's supposed to go in?
No, he didn't.
I just put it in
Oh.
order that I chose it. It's an order. Everything up top is from 0 to 5.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm gonna show you that there's a better way to do it, and after we're done this, and it's fine.
I
I'll
want to
fix
see
it later.
this now.
I won't have time to do it because you.
I'll fix it later. Okay,
Oh
so
my
yeah,
god, what did you do, Luke?
you cast invisibility and teleport. Subtract that from your spells per day.
That is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Invisibility is second and fourth.
Okay. Can you cast forth those spells?
I can cast it once. That was my only time to use Dimension Door.
Okay. So yeah, you make it. Where are you trying to dimension door to? What's the range of it?
Dimension Door is a couple hundred feet, I think. Or it's in line of sight. I think it's line of sight.
Okay, where I'm looking it up.
Inside the main, I guess would be inside the main plaza for the museum.
That's a long range from your current location to any other spot within range. You always arrive at exactly the desired spot, whether you whether by simply visualizing the area or by stating a direction. So you have to visualize it if you plan on going somewhere you can't see.
Correct, but I was just basically going the other side. Like, I'm assuming we're right outside and I can see inside, so I'm just gonna teleport straight inside.
I mean, there are doors to the museum. You could teleport to the steps, which is on the other side of the metal detectors and all the cops.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. So you are at like the center, 3/4 of the way up the stairs to this museum, and there are it's like not as much of a crowd of people due to the fact that there are police frisking you and metal detectors. It's kind of like it's offsetting to a bunch of tourists, so not that many people are coming to the museum. Also, they're being funneled in at a slower pace due to the fact that they're being stopped and everything. So there's not really that many people, and you are now on the
How
stairs.
long does my invisibility last? That's something I need to learn.
Invisibility doesn't last that long. Pathfinder invisibility, the spell. It lasts 1 minute per level.
So 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right, so I'll walk in. I'll step behind like a pillar or something and cancel it when no one's looking, so it doesn't look like I'm just appearing out of thin air.
Okay, you do so.
Walks out. I guess I walk into the museum.
Okay, so you are going to the main doors of the museum, and sir, you need to roll a reflex save.
Why? That's always scary to do.
You need to roll a reflex save.
I know that. I just don't want to. What is my reflex? 20.
Total. Okay. I need you. How do you GM roll multiple die?
It's roll.
Okay,
blank
Quentin.
D blank.
It's slash. If you're, are you just trying to roll dice without like rolling
Yes,
character?
multiple.
Slash GR. Then you're gonna write
that.
the number of the dice in front of the D, and then write the dice number.
I'm trying to remember how many it is. I think it's this many.
What am I getting hit with?
Plus that, so you take 18 damage.
Ow. From what?
A bomb just went off in your face. You are crossing the main threshold where the door is in the museum, and a bomb goes off right in your face and explodes and knocks you back down the stairs, like in front of to where the stairs are. People are screaming. A couple of people actually also got hit by that blast. People are screaming, scattered everywhere. Police are running to the scene, as you would imagine, because a bomb just went off. You hear a bunch of really concerned people calling 911, calling for ambulances, asking for medics. People are checking the pulses of some of the people that just got hit by the blast. Some people are even running up to you, and in your head you hear, "I sensed something that was a little perturbing. Is everything all right?
A bomb just went off at the Museum of Natural History.
Do I need to come and assist you, or do you think
I am not sure. Stay put for now. We'll see what's going on.
All right, will do then. Let me know if you need me expeditiously. I will be there in a minute."
Roger that.
Okay.
So I'll do a quick perception check to see if I see anything like out of the ordinary. Or wait, first we'll detect magic. Cast detect magic. Go.
You can sense magic all around you. You couldn't. It's in a really awkward, like, circle almost. It's like, it's not a perfect circle, right? It's kind of jagged. It's almost like the residue of the bomb.
Yeah, so it's a magical
Perhaps magical bombs. So yeah, that's what you're getting.
All I get from that sucks. Hmm. Don't have anything else. I don't know how they could help here. So I'm assuming like cops are running over and trying to take care of me.
Oh yeah, cops. If you weren't gonna do anything, then yeah, cops are running over. Ambulances have been called. The cops are running up to you, asking if you. Well, actually, they're not asking. They're mandating that you be taken to a hospital for examination. Also, a witness statement, because they believe that you have just been a part of an ongoing string of terrorist attacks.
Lovely.
They set up.
Give you a good chance to get some information.
Yeah, so they said a bomb went off in the Vatican, injured a dozen people. Much like in a scenario like this, they're glad to see that you aren't really all
I
that.
will roll to play the horrified little girl.
You can roll, and if you play it, are we role playing you as a horrified little girl?
I'm not screaming out loud.
Dang it.
Sorry.
All right.
I guess would that be? I guess just roll a perform check.
Yeah, roll perform. What do you have points in perform of?
28.
No, but what is your perform?
Keyboard.
So
I
when
mean, I could do.
bluff? I mean, you're not really all that injured.
Sure, I'll do a bluff check.
Okay, do a bluff check.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. So you're like, ah, my life flashed before my eyes. Terrible. The light, it called to me. I resisted. You're making this overly dramatic for absolutely no reason. They're looking at you. You look fine comparatively to some of the other people. But like I said, they're still ushering you towards an ambulance, which was called and got there almost immediately. You do still have a faint ringing in your ear, some black spots on your eyes, and words sound a little slurred to you. But other than that, you feel fine. You didn't even take that much damage. You're not overly concerned about it. Helga, however, is like body slamming police
Yeah, she's
out
like
of her way.
running towards
Like,
you.
move! I am the caretaker of this child. So yeah, Helga, are you concerned for this?
Helga, calm down as I swoon into the arms of.
Honestly, I don't
You're
think
fine.
Helga's so much concerned about her as she is her paycheck at this point.
It's true. It's very good.
So Helga's just given up hope.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So she's just kind of faints, like, oh my gosh, if that girl died, I wouldn't get paid.
Basically.
So,
She obviously doesn't like kids. She didn't have any of her own.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, you are being ushered into an ambulance. Are you going to do anything, or are you just gonna let this play out?
Who's coming in the ambulance with me? Just me and a doctor.
You are going to have an EMT, police officer, and a couple of other injured people. These are moderately large ambulances. They can fit like 2 passengers per. Because you don't need to be on a stretcher. You're fine.
Right. Okay, yeah, we'll let it play out. Keep going.
So yeah, you're just in an ambulance, and the police officer says we're going to take you. The EMT also says we're taking you immediately to the hospital in which all the other victims are currently in. Some of them are still recuperating and recovering. These are the best medical facilities that we can supply. It's just south of the Vatican, a little ways. So
wait, I have a question. That's that a game question. Can I, even though I don't have perform sing, can I sing because I'm a bard?
you can sing, but I don't think you can make a perform sing check. You don't get anything to it, so it would be your base dice roll plus your charisma.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? But I mean, courtesans they used to sing a lot, so could I just add that to it instead?
With that argument, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you can roll a profession courtesan to sing.
Okay, cool. All right, keep going. That's for later. I kind of have a plan with this.
Okay, so yeah, he basically explains that you're being taken to the it's I had this written down. No, I don't need to go there. I need to go here. Yeah, he's basically said that you are going to be taken to the hospital. It's south of the Vatican. It's where all of the other bomb victims have been taken. The reason why they're taking you there is because they already have a protective. What's the word I'm looking? It's just the police are already set up there on protective watch over all of the victims, and they need to take your statement, but they also need to get you checked out to make sure that while you seem fine, you could still have a concussion and all this. So the escort is just, you're going to a hospital.
Okay, cool.
If you don't say anything else, you're just gonna go there.
My plan is to go to the. Here's my plan, so you know what I'm like trying to do. I'm gonna go to the hospital,
Mhm.
give them my statement, talk to the police, try to get anything I can out of them, and then like request to stay there. Tell them
Okay.
that I'm a performer. I would like to, be here with the rest of the bomb victims and try and cheer them up a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll try and get some information out of those people. Like, what did you see? What
Okay.
happened? All that kind of, just thing.
Manipulative
Sure.
contouring.
Shut up.
You I now have the name of the hospital. You are told that you are being taken to El Salvatore Mundi International Hospital.
Dr.
Um,
Mundo comes again.
Mundi Salvatore Mundi, whatever.
Mundi.
No, Dr. Mundo. It's Dr. Mundo.
It's not his hospital. Yeah, so you're being escorted to the hospital. I'm gonna roll to see. Question.
Answer.
If you're not critically
Hi.
injured, if you're not critically injured and you were being taken to a hospital in an ambulance, would they just take you through the main entrance?
They would take you through the ER regardless if you are critically injured or not. You go through the ER, never the main entrance.
What's the difference between the main entrance and the ER?
ER is the emergency room. That's where all the ambulances go in and out.
Yeah. I
That's where you
know.
go if you need emergency care. Main entrance is just if you're coming to visit people.
Yeah, that's all it
Fair.
is.
Okay.
So yeah, we'd be going through the ER because there's probably someone else in here who's hurt worse than I am.
Right. Okay. Fine. You're being escorted through the ER as you are making your way through the entrance. I roll a reflex save.
Why?
Was that 16 your reflex save?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is another bomb gonna go off? Really? Where are these things coming from?
You take another 30 damage. You're probably not feeling too hot right now.
Ow! Where did this one come from?
Again, as you're stepping into like exactly, it's astounding. Again, you just walk past the entranceway to the building. It's like literally as soon as you cross the threshold, a bomb goes off and hits you, the EMT, the police officer, the injured people, and some of the people inside the emergency room who were already injured.
Lovely.
Anybody die from that?
Yeah, like okay.
Yeah, another like half dozen people are like critically injured, if not dead already. EMTs again are rushing to the scene.
Caster, we've got a bomb problem.
He's like, I noticed. Do you need my assistance? You don't seem well.
Yes, please come and help me.
All right, so roll a perception check. You're at a negative because a bomb just blew up in your face.
I'm pretty sure I had something that let me add my perception. Give me one momento, por favor.
Oh,
hold on, I found it.
we have a bomb problem.
We have a bomb. I could have swear there was. I had something that allowed me to add perception, but okay.
Just so you know, we're at an hour and a half mark.
Okay, so we'll be wrapping up soon.
So just a general perception check?
Yeah. No, you don't notice it. There are a bunch of people who look like medical professionals. Though there is one man who looks kind of out of place. He looks like a priest. But other than then there's like a bunch of other normal people wearing regular clothing who look like they were also in the ER. But the priest and a couple of the doctors are tending to some of the wounded.
Bring your camera cut out, reconnect.
Oh, your camera cut out on my screen. Intriguing. You see this priest in there, and Caster, just poofs beside you. Again, you can't see him, but you just feel his presence, and he says, "Oh,
What?
I can sense that another servant's in the area."
Why didn't the light go off then? Or
Well, they're not quite close enough in the vicinity of you personally. I said it would go off if someone attempted to touch you or attack you. Now, I can just have the general senses and know that someone is in the area.
I think these bombs are. You're an alchemist. Are these? I think these bombs are. I'll tell them. I think the bombs are magical because they're kind of going off and blah 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 blah.
He
Isn't he an
he
alchemist?
no, he's not an alchemist. He's going to roll a spellcraft
Isn't he
check. He's going to roll a spellcraft check. Yeah, like I figured. And he says, they are indeed magical, and while you are incorrect in your assessment of me being an alchemist, I can tell that they are alchemical.
Oh, great. How are they randomly appearing though?
That I am not quite sure of. In fact, he's going over to, again, where it looks like the epicenter of the bomb was. He's like, I don't know if it has been lying. It could just have been lying here the whole time and no one's seen it. Or it could have been teleported here, or it could have been on another plane's existence, then tripped, and then
it's just following me.
that is also possible. It's hard to tell with such little evidence left behind. If I had something to work with, and the bomb doesn't explode and leave nothing.
Correct. Who's that priest guy over there? I was like, sense mode of the priest dude. Let's do it.
You sense mode of the priest dude. The caster's also going to sense mode of this priest dude, as you mentioned.
Do I need to do it too?
Why not, Luke?
Okay.
Technically, you would, because sometimes your
He could crit fail.
Sometimes your servant may not actually reveal what he's seeing just for your own sake.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of like you have to find out information for yourself.
You can tell that he stands out. He seems more powerful than everyone else. And yeah, as you're eyeing up this guy all quizzically, Dr. Facilio says, I do believe that is the servant I was referring to. Furthermore, I do believe that may even be ruler.
Oh, that's ruler.
So yeah, what perception check for your sake, else you see a bald priest, completely head shaven, but he's still wearing like Catholic church robes. You don't get much for an 11.
Can I walk up to him and talk to him?
What's your HP at?
See, I took 11 and then 33, so that's 44. 22.
You're hurt, man.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Cure light wounds. Go.
How many times do you casting Cure Light Wounds?
Just once.
Just once?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that? That's like 2d8s or something? Roll out when you're healing.
You're gonna throw off these EMTs, man.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about using magic in the public's eye, too.
It's true.
Yeah, are there visual and somatic components to Cure Light Wounds?
Yeah.
Now, when you laying a hand on a living creature, channel positive energy.
You're not supposed to cast magic in front of the normals. The ruler would take action against you. Yeah.
Ignore me.
Fine.
Yeah,
There are
you
visual
gotta.
and somatic components.
There are very few spells that it's not visual or somatic.
And you just.
Should we go talk to ruler?
I do believe that it would be wise to properly introduce ourselves to this year's Holy Grail War.
That's true. All right, let's go talk to him.
So Ruler's actually currently, the person you assume to be Ruler is currently bending over and he's got his hands on one of the injured people, and this person was on the ground groaning, like in terrible pain, and he just helps them up, grabs their hand and puts his hand on their back, helps them sit up, and they immediately are able to stand up and feel better.
So you made Ruler a holy priest.
So
he's God now.
Oh no, he would never do that.
No.
He's Gandhi. He's your favorite person ever.
He's not Indian.
Oh, he's
not Indian. He does look Asian though. So he looks directly at Castor and then directly at you, and he says, "Are you injured?"
Wrong voice.
I'm trying to think how he would
So
talk.
that sounds
I
like
haven't had.
Caster.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think how he would talk. He
What-
talks more methodically, slowly, thinkingly. Are you injured?
Yes, I was just next to 2 bombs as I'm covered in blood and dirt and everything else.
Oh my, this is quite troublesome. And he would come over and put
You
his hand
still
on.
sound like Caster.
Do I?
Yeah.
I could be stereotypically Asian.
Do it. But he's not. Is he stereotypically Asian?
I mean,
Why don't you just do an anime character's voice kind of thing?
what kind of what? You think I do anime character voices?
Yeah, you could.
What can I do?
Light, airy, your normal voice. I don't know.
Like what?
Light,
What?
airy.
Light, airy, light and airy. Like
Okay,
this?
that's too gay.
Oh my! No, my gay. No, that's my Cali girl voice. Dang it! What am I doing?
You
Anyways.
don't have a gay voice. What?
What do you mean? Wow. Then why was light and airy too gay?
Well, now it's too
Anyway.
feminine, basically.
What do you mean this is too feminine?
Never mind.
Okay.
Just do
Anyways,
your voice.
this is what he's gonna stick with. He's gonna come over to you, put his hand on your shoulder, and you're basically gonna instantly feel better. And he's like, "Well, I'm glad that you're feeling better now."
How do I want to reply to this? Do I want to say thank you, ruler? Or do I want to say what kind of magic was that, priest?
Yeah, which one are you going with?
That's
Oh, dang it! I had his name. I gotta go find his name. Again, I don't know. I can't. I don't want to do a voice. I don't know what voice to do with him because he's really Asian, but I don't know how to do Asian voices. Can you do Asian voices?
I mean, what do you mean by Asian voice? Like
He's
Korean?
like.
But it'd be more feminine if I did it, because
Give me. What's his ethnicity? Give me his. I should be able to tell that by now.
Yeah, like I said, he's Asian. I mean, I can't give you more than that unless you're gonna like roll.
Knowledge history, go.
Which history? Sure, I guess that would work.
sex for you. I don't know.
22. Do I know
20.
any Asian healer people in history?
You know of a lot of Asian healer people in history, but you don't know.
Well, they had to fit the ruling class. So they had to be some kind of ruler.
Not necessarily. It just has to be
Some
something.
kind of great leader.
Okay.
All right, I think I want to say to him is a priest you can still use divine magic. I didn't think those existed anymore.
Wait. You would say yes, indeed. I'm going with this. He's got to be Asian. I'm just gonna go with a toned down version of my stereotypical Asian. Yes, indeed. I was trained for many years.
And what brings you to Rome in this time in history, or this point in time, great priest?
Well, if you had not already acquiesced, I am the ruler for this year's guild.
Are you guys
Holy
talking
Grail.
in plain like sight of people like this?
Well, kind of. I mean, I whispered it to him, but he's answering normally. I mean, at this point, everyone's more confused about everything else going on.
This
Yeah,
is true.
everyone's kind of running around and just ignoring you too. Occasionally, a couple people actually run up to him and say, "Priest, priest, there's no way we can save these people." And he just kind of turns to you and is like, "We can talk further, privately, another time. I am needed elsewhere." And he walks off to go heal more people.
But I want to follow.
You can follow him.
Okay, I follow him.
Okay, you go off and follow him, and he's being taken currently to a couple of people who were just hit by the recent bombs, and you see that they are like bleeding out and about to die, basically. And he just he puts his hands on them, and he bows his head and touches his forehead to their forehead, and it sounds like he whispers, I don't know, some sort of prayer or mantra maybe. And this person just instantly feels better. They just get up, their wounds start healing, they stop bleeding, and everyone's like, "It's a miracle!"
I'll lean over to Castor and say, and people still don't believe in magic.
Yes, the ignorance of the average man is truly astounding.
Yet if we were to use magic here, we'd be classified as witches and evil.
Again, it's all based on appearance. He's playing quite the good act.
Let's see one of them die, bring him back to life, and see if I'm a genius or not.
as amusing as that would be, I do think that would cause even more of a commotion, if more than a commotion could be caused in 2 bombs in the past hour.
It's true.
So yeah, Ruler, once he is done tending to all of the people, is going to stand up and he says, "Follow me," and he's going to walk off into a back room.
Mr.
Follows him.
Miyagi.
Follows him with
Wax
Castor.
on, no wax off. What? If you follow him with Castor, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just taking you into a room. It looks like it just literally all it is a bed with a single white sheet, a nightstand with a glass of water, a lamp, and the Holy Bible. That is all that is in this room.
Okay.
Other than that, the room is white.
Nice.
White floors, white walls, nothing else.
Okay.
Just objects. And he kind of he closes the door behind you. It's solid wood, and he says, "We are able to talk freely here."
Are one of the servants bombing places on purpose?
Again, as far as I can tell, yes.
Why? That goes against the Grail War.
Precisely. This is why I'm attempting to find them, locate them, and dispatch with them.
Do you have any leads so far?
All that I know is probably something that you've already acquiesced, that they are using magical bombs and alchemical agents of sort. We don't know how they are appearing, when they are here, how they are getting here. All
The
that we
alchemical bombs, they need ingredients. So how are they getting the ingredients?
that is what we are trying to track down. Whoever is doing this, however, is very clever.
Do you
There-
have any remnants of the bombs we could analyze?
This is why bombs are particularly tricky. When a bomb explodes, all of it is disintegrated. Almost. There are a few shrapnels which a few labs are analyzing. I have attempted to get my hands on some. And in fact, I did manage to swab, and he holds a little shrapnel metal, this from the most recent explosion. I thought that it may be quite imperative to locating who had done this.
Castor, can you find out anything from that?
Bombs have been ran through every single crime lab, looking for anything, fingerprints, DNA. Nothing has been found.
No, I asked Castor if he could find anything with magic.
Well, I suppose I could always try. Scrying isn't my hobby or a speciality, if you would, but
Yeah, I don't have scry either.
he's like, I can look through my tomes and see what I can access and see if there's anything I could do to assist you. That would be much appreciated.
Well, we can have Castor do magic on it. I can take it back to my base and have the military dudes run it through, CIS stuff, trying to figure out what it's from or what it is.
Again, like I said, we have the top government agencies working on this. This has been sent to the Roman government, the United States government, the English government. It's been sent to the UN even. They are concerned about these terrorist attacks.
And they haven't found anything? Damn, lazy bastards.
I don't think it is a matter of their competence, or rather, maybe nothing is being left behind.
It's true. What about eyewitness reports? Are there any people who were there that survived and saw what happened?
A lot of the victims are still in critical condition. I have attempted to heal many. Many are recuperating very well. The only one person that strikes me as puzzling is I heard rumors that a man just stood up after being hit right in the face with a bomb, much like yourself, and managed to walk away completely unscathed.
Did you find him?
I have not been able to locate this man, for I have been busy at the hospital.
I need to get my spies to find that man.
There was a video recording of him, as a matter of fact, and all we could tell is that he was wearing a black and red long tailcoat, gray pants, black shoes, and had long black hair.
Writes all this down in her little notebook I have somewhere. Pulled out somewhere.
Okay.
Memorize his description. Roll to memorize description. Roll wisdom.
Roll wisdom.
What's my wisdom?
Eh. Something about a tailcoat and the color black.
Red tail.
A lot of black.
Starts doodling images of random people. Who knows?
That's true. Well, if Caster doesn't know anything, or not Caster, Ruler doesn't even know anything. That's kind of disappointing.
I told you there are alchemical bombs, and that so far no clues have been left behind. Also, you have to understand that scrying and locating things isn't exactly a specialty.
Yeah, I know.
And how do I'm trying to figure out how to explain what he looks like. Imagine Godfist Lee Sin
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
in Catholic church robes.
I was thinking knock out the monk from Diablo 3.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Big
Okay.
bushy beard.
No, he doesn't have a beard. He's no facial hair. Wait. He's like completely clean shaven.
Okay.
So he is like bald, like no hair anywhere. So yeah, like I said, more like yeah, minus the beard. That's basically what it looks like. Similar physique, but yeah, like Godfist Lee Sin, I feel like right on point. Just for a mental image.
Well, none of the eyewitnesses are gonna help because they're all probably don't remember anything, according to him anyway. Has he questioned the witnesses?
He has questioned the witnesses. He's relaying almost any information. He's open to basically assistance because he does not know who, but if they are a participant of the Holy Grail Wars, which he suspects they are, he wants to crack down on this person immediately.
Very well. Well, Caster, or not Caster, Ruler, I've hired a small detective force looking into other members of the Holy Grail War. Maybe someone saw something about this man who stepped out of the rubble. Have to check into that.
All right. What's our time looking like right now?
1:45.
All right, we're actually going to end it there. For canonical reasons.
Well, I mean, the only thing I was gonna do is go back to our base. And...
You're not leaving the hospital yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still injured, and technically you haven't healed yourself. So.
Also, the police are going to want a statement. Luke, you are fully healed.
Oh, yay!
Ruler took care of you when he touched your forearm when you felt better. I guess yeah, we're just gonna probably wrap it up there with that wonderful cliffhanger. One person hit by 2 bombs one day and met Ruler class. Actually, yeah. So
am I the only one to have met him so far?
I didn't want to say this, but yes, you are the only person to have had an exchange with him as of this far.
Your character does not know that, only you.
Your character doesn't know that though. But yeah, so you are we are going to be. He's looking for the other masters and servants right now to try and figure out who's doing all these bombings. And on that cliffhanger, that's where we're gonna end off.
Okay. All right. See you guys next time.
See everyone next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.